For lunch today, I'm going to be making summer rolls. These are really delicious and can be very nutritious depending on what you put inside of them. So what I use are these fresh spring roll wrappers. And I got them in an Asian market, gosh, a long time ago. They last a long time. And I got them for about $2.15. You can find these at Whole Foods. I don't think Trader Joe's sells them. I would take a look in the Asian section of your market and see if they sell them. I'm sure Amazon sells them. I don't know if they have them right now with their low stock shortages, but you should take a look and see. And you can get, I usually get brown rice spring rolls, and those are the ones I have in the city actually. These are the ones that I have here. So when you take them out, they're almost like, oops, I tore it a little, it's okay. It's almost like plastic a little bit, and it has this interesting texture on it. They don't always have this texture, but it's very stiff, cracks easily, and that's gonna be the wrapper for this. And the way that we get that to work is by soaking it in water, and it gets very soft. So for starters, I'm gonna get the water set up. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is make the dipping sauce, because the dipping sauce is really what makes this extra special. So for that, I'm only going to use 3 ingredients. This is peanut butter. This is fresh ground peanut butter. You certainly don't need fresh ground peanut butter. You can use any peanut butter you have. Some hoisin sauce and some boiling water. You can, of course, add other things to flavor if you want, but I do not want to. So I'm going to add a nice dollop of peanut butter. Hoisin sauce is very salty and kind of sweet as well, so you don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. It's very gooey also. It has molasses in it. So I'm going to add that. And the reason you need hot water is because of the gooiness of both of these. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of hot water in there. And gooey, but wonderful. Sort of stir them up. And the hot water is going to help sort of melt the gooiness and thin out the hoisin and the peanut butter to make it a nice dipping sauce. And I'm making that now so that it has time to cool off, because we don't necessarily want a hot dipping sauce. That looks perfect. Okay, so we're gonna put that to the side and we're gonna get started. So the things that I have on hand to put in my summer roll include celery, avocado, yams, fresh spinach, and I have some tofu. You can put shrimp in this. Very, very often shrimp is used in these, and they're absolutely wonderful inside. But I'm using those ingredients. And I love this because this is kind of a kitchen sink recipe. Whatever you have that you think will taste good, dipped in peanut and hoisin sauce, that's what you should put in. So I'm going to take my spring roll wrapper and I'm going to dip it in the water. And I'm going to let it sit for just a minute. You don't need to let it sit for too long. And what's going to happen is you can feel already sort of that it becomes soft and a little bit very sticky actually. It doesn't take long. And then I'm going to wrap everything up in it. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to get my avocado out of the skin, and everything else is prepped and ready to go. All right, this should be ready. Yeah, it's definitely softer. It's going to get even more soft. So I'm going to place it down, and the first thing I'm going to place down is some tofu. Now you don't want to go right to the edges because you do fold those in. I'm going to put some spinach. I'm going to put, let's see, how many pieces of this do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll just do one for now. A little bit of avocado, a few sweet potatoes, and you can see already how soft this is. So I'm going to start by rolling this towards me or away from me. I do it both ways. Fold in the sides, and they're very sticky. This celery is a little on the long side, so I'm actually going to try and fold it in a bit. It's not an easy thing to fold. However, just stick with it. I'm certainly not an expert, but the more you do it, the less intimidated by it you become. All right, there we go. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's holding it all together. And I'll just put that on a plate to the side. So I'm gonna make 4 of them so you can watch me. This is the last one. I'll put a little extra tofu. The rest of the avocado. The rest of the sweet potatoes. And the rest of the spinach. Squish it all in there. Give it a little roll, and there we go. Last one. So now we're just going to cut them in half. These are being shared with my children, so everybody can just grab one. No double dipping. Dip it in the sauce and munch away. It's delicious. And I hope you'll try it and enjoy it.